Welcome to the webinar. Today we're going to be discussing what's new in D365 Business Central for the Wave 1 release. These are features planned to release from April to September. A little bit about Boyer. We're headquartered in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and we've been helping clients for 30 years. I'm celebrating that 30th anniversary this year. Very exciting. And we're happy to have you here. We've got over 450 clients nationwide. And we happen to service 1 out of every 5 of our clients as non-for-profit. In 2023, we won the Microsoft US Partner of the Year. And we're excited to share those achievements with you guys. Now, this is actually what I'm going to start out with is just showing you guys the agenda from my last What's New in Business Central 2023 Wave. It was 2023 Wave 2 release. So this was my agenda last time. If you were here, you may remember some of these points. And as you've been using Business Central, you may already see some of these changes or be experiencing some of these new features in your environment. So just a quick recap to highlight, those most recent changes that are rolling out because they, just ended rolling out through March. So we've got sync document and posting dates on sales and purchases. You're able to navigate easier between orders, receipts, and posted invoice documents. You can make intercompany transactions across Business Central environments. There's a new reservation worksheet for inventory management. You can generate customer statement that only shows open entries. This was a hot one and exciting one. You previously could only show their running balance. Now you have the ability to just show the open entries. Another exciting one was we can now use directed pick and put away suggestions. Those are advanced warehousing features are now available for use in basic warehousing configurations. So bin ranking and other features in the directed pick and put away are now available for basic warehousing configurations. More control over general journal approvals. You can identify and track items easier with item references. You're able to print and scan barcodes using the mobile app. Include approvals for intercompany journals. So that's a big one. Being able to have workflows that go to the intercompany journal. It used to be excluded. So that approval functionality is now available in the intercompany journal. Consolidate financial information across environments when you have multi-company setup. Blocking item variants. New terminology for jobs called project management. Being able to analyze on pages to group and pivot data on lists. This is probably one of my favorites for being able to do some of your own reporting on some of your most frequently used pages for analysis. And distinguish between browser tabs when multitasking. So again, this is just a recap of what was out in the most recent release. I wanted to do a rundown of that as a refresher and just to highlight some of the most recent changes. Now we'll get into what I'm going to discuss today. So in the 2024 Wave 1 release, we've got a Copilot and AI capabilities page that's going to show, it'll allow you to manage and learn more about Copilot and AI in Business Central. We're going to be able to reconcile the bank statement with Copilot. I'm so excited to show you guys that feature in action. We're going to discuss how you can automate IRS 1099 form submission. And the rest of these topics will just be in PowerPoint form, but I'm going to give a short descriptor about them. we'll have a look at the functionality for the in-client scripting tool, improvements to project management, GL account revaluation, business units currencies for consolidation, being able to assign a salesperson code on a ship to address, Excel report layouts, being able to share error details to clipboard, Teams, or email, a new modern action bar, a new date picker, new actionable platform-related error messages, and the ability to use deferral codes in purchase and sales journals. So first we have the Copilot and AI capabilities page. So Copilot is the AI-powered assistant that helps people across the organization unlock creativity and automate tedious tasks. And I'm going to jump in and show you guys this page so that you can be aware of how to stay on top of the AI functionality available to you in your environment. So I'm just going to switch screens real quick and come over here to my Business Central demo environment. Good old Cronus. And I'm going to take us to the AI Copilot and AI capabilities page. You can click here to be taken to some videos and links about Business Central and Copilot. And then you can see production ready previews, capabilities, their status, the publisher, and you can click learn more to find out more information about each one of these capabilities. So there's production ready preview, and then there's generally available. So we've already got some features with AI and Copilot, and we're actually going to take a look at the bank account reconciliation feature next. So definitely more coming in that space from the What's New articles. They're definitely investing in Copilot, and we'll see that kind of sprinkled into this presentation. So let's go ahead and take a look at reconciling the bank statement. Oh, uh-oh. Sorry about that. So the exciting feature, my most exciting feature for this presentation is the reconcile bank statement with Copilot. So you're probably familiar with the new bank reconciliation format that has came out maybe 4 releases ago. And the auto match function matches most bank transactions with the bank ledger entries, but it can sometimes result in unmatched transactions, many unmatched transactions. If you've used it, you've probably seen where it can easily identify the one-to-one matches pretty successfully, but it doesn't, match 100% of everything. There's some cleanup. Now, Copilot uses AI technology to inspect remaining transactions after you running the auto match feature, and it will identify more matches based on using information on the dates, amounts, and descriptions. The biggest thing to note is that Copilot will suggest one-to-many matches. So if you have a scenario where you have in multiple entries on the bank ledger that match to one entry on your bank statement, Copilot is going to be able to suggest that match for you. So let's take a look at it in action. I'm just going to go to my bank reconciliation page. You can see I've got one out here for my checking account. Let's open it up. I filled out my header information, so I've got my statement date and my statement ending balance. And on the left-hand side, I've got my bank statement lines that I've imported from my bank statement, or maybe copied and pasted into here. So there's a couple ways that you can get this populated. On the right-hand side, we're seeing our bank ledger entries that are still open. So typically you would come up here and you would do match automatically. You'd enter a tolerance of days, let's say 2 days for this quick example. And you can see that 2 reconciliation lines out of 4 were matched. Okay, so that's the auto match. That's, the base Business Central functionality. And it did about 50% of the lines. So we've still got 3 entries on our bank ledger that should be matched over here that weren't. So let's clear these matches. Remove match. Now let's try reconciling with Copilot. A new Reconcile with Copilot window will open, and you can see the auto-matched lines, just like we did manually here. So the regular base Business Central functionality matched 2 of the lines. We saw that in action. And then Copilot was able to match the remaining 2 lines. All lines are 100% matched. So we can see down below the match proposals. So this is saying apply the transaction from our bank statement, amount to apply, and the proposed match. So we can take a look at that match. This is the flow field. It'll take us to the bank account ledger entry that it's matching with. And then if we have multiple entries, it'll tell us it's going to apply multiple entries. Let's take a look at that. And we're getting both of these 5,487 and 80 cent deposits lumped into this 10,975 and 60 cent deposit. You can choose to keep these, discard. And then you could delete lines if you wanted to remove any matches. We're going to keep, and you'll see all my lines are green, and that makes a happy accountant. All right, so I definitely recommend that if you have the Copilot Reconcile with Copilot enabled for your company through the AI and capabilities page, that you give this a try and see what you can see what efficiencies you can gain. Next up is another exciting feature. Let's see if we can do this here. Here we go. Business Central is finally automating the IRS 1099 form submission. So again, very exciting news. They are letting us know that basically this might come out. It's not available yet, but before the 2024 release wave 2, the integration functionality via the IRIS APIs through the IRS will be ready. Okay, so it'll be able to submit the IRS forms to the IRIS API through Business Central. You'll also have the ability to print 1099s on blank paper. So those pesky alignment issues are no more. They're going to be a thing of the past. So that's really exciting. 1099s are also going to be calculated and archived in BC. Wow, that's like huge. Today, you just have reports, static reports, and there's not really a history or an archive or, that for you to reference those 1099s that were generated. So the 1099s are going to have statuses of open, released, printed, sent, reported, approved, and rejected. So that tells you there's going to be a lot going on, and it's going to be very functional on how you can organize your 1099s. They can be automatically emailed to your vendors or manually printed. And just a little behind the scenes, basically there's going to be templates that Microsoft will update and to keep the forms up to standard with the IRS changes. Okay. Next is there's a new in-client scripting tool. So once you get onto the latest version, you'll see that under your personalized, under your gear setting, you'll have an option to begin page scripting. And what that does is you'll be able to select a new recording. And as you click different functions or pages in Business Central, it records the steps as you move through the system. And if you hit an error, it records that as well. So this is, Business Central, Microsoft has noted this as like a user acceptance testing tool. I think there's going to be a lot more coming out with it, but it's in currently in preview mode, and it would allow you to send that recording to a coworker or your support team to help troubleshoot your issue. So an exciting use case to help with support, instead of having support ask you, what did you click to get this? Or what did you do before this? You can give them all the context of what happened with this page scripting tool. But they're really kind of promoting it for user acceptance testing as well. But I think it can be exciting for just general support. So once you've created that recording, you can save it, and then you can send it to someone and they can open that recording. And it will walk them through the exact steps on their screen whenever they play that recording. It'll walk through the exact steps that you took when you made the scripting, the page scripting recording. And another big headline is they're making additional improvements to project management. In the past, projects were called jobs. And on the, you might hear me say jobs still, because I'm just not used to it yet. But with projects, you can now specify a location code and a bin code on the job card. That's going to inherit to the job tasks and job planning lines, where you can also make changes if you need exception to handle multiple bin codes or something like that. But, basically helping support the idea of inventory being used in combination with a job. Project task card. So used to be that you would create project tasks in the lines of a job card. Now the project tasks, you can create them in the lines, but you can also open up a task card and fill out little things such as a sell to customer and a build to customer on a particular project task. You can set that up task by task, as well as a ship to. In the project setup, there's a new setting called default task billing method. And this default task billing method can be set to multiple customers. And if you set it to multiple customers, it allows invoicing multiple sell to and bill to customers on one project. So in addition, you can invoice one customer for multiple projects. So lots of one-to-many relationships between the project and an invoice. So that's exciting there for project management. Then we have the general ledger account revaluation. So this is brand new to Business Central. For each GL account, you can select to have revaluation entries or to run revaluation on a certain account. And something that's exciting is each general ledger entry will have the source currency code and the source currency amount. So these are new fields for reference purposes or for use in GL account revaluation. So if you revalue, of course, you'll need to speak with your auditors about how you approach revaluation for different accounts. But if you are revaluing, it's nice that you'll now be able to see the source currency code and the source amount. Let's see. There's not much more here. It's just the ability to revalue, and you can set an account to only allow specific currencies into that GL account. So when you go to post, it will only allow a particular currency. Money, 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 more about money. So additionally, with currencies, we've got business units. The ability, whenever you have a consolidation company, you set up business units, and each business unit can choose to do use the currency exchange rate table available locally, which is set up in the current consolidation company, or you can set it to use the business unit exchange rate, which you can set up on a business unit by business unit basis. So if you want to use a different exchange rate for certain business units, then you can manage that with this new feature. Pretty exciting. This one, I've seen many customizations in my time to be able to add a salesperson to a ship to. So love to see these little improvements. So now if you have a ship to address on a customer card, there's a new field called salesperson code. That's going to default on new sales documents when that ship to code is selected. Microsoft says this will help capture true geographical distribution of sales by rep. Excel layouts. So something new, a whole new concept again is the ability to have Excel layouts for reports. So Microsoft came out with 8 reports here that you can see in this list. They have preview next to the name on the right-hand side. Those reports now can be run in Excel, and there's some charts and pivots in Excel that come with the Excel layout. And the exciting thing is that it includes the data behind the report as well. So you're not just seeing the report results, you're seeing the underlying data in another tab that you can use to pivot on your own and do additional analysis. Another cool thing for dealing with error troubleshooting, you have the option now, there's a share button on the, if you highlight your mouse over an X or an error message, there's now a share button that will allow you to copy error details, share details to Teams, or share via email. So it's going to include the error message as well as any other information. So you can easily get the help that you need if you're running into an error. You can share that with another user and get their help. And we've got some quick ones here that we'll get through, and we'll have some time back in your day. So here we've got the new modern action bar. So you'll notice whenever you get the version 24 updated in your client, you'll see that there's a new icons on the action bar. So you'll see the list name, the page name that you're on, and the filter drop down here for the quick filters that you can set on a page. And then here they've squeezed in this little box here, and it's got Copilot, Search, and Analyze. So right now, Analyze is like a little Boolean field that you click on and click off, like a little button. Now it's going to be an icon here. So a little bit of a pivot, little change, and one of the newer features for Analyze. And to quickly open up your search bar, you can hit F3, they said in the documentation. So to quickly start searching on a page, you can hit F3 to open up that quick search, which is going to search across all the columns shown on that page for what you have entered in the text. There's a new date picker. I couldn't get an image here for this one, but basically, like other date pickers and other Microsoft apps, such as Power BI, it's going to allow you to click on the month or click on the year and select a different month or select a different year. Right now, you have to hit the back button from the current month to whichever prior month that you need or prior dates that you need to report on. So instead of having to click back on each month, you can click on the month, select the year, and now you're in business. So a little bit smoother operation that's going to be coming with all the date fields in BC. Another troubleshooting error improvement, making it easier to understand, go to, and resolve errors that come. So in this case here, it says, residual gains account must have a value in currency code equals USD. So that's the error message, and you may not know what to do with that. Now Business Central gives you a little bit more context and lets you open up the page with the setting that they're referring to. So once you open up the currency card, you'd see USD and you'd know, oh, okay, I need to look at the residual gains account on this currency card and get that set up. So pointing you in the right direction, trying to make it easier, make it quicker for you to resolve errors or look and troubleshoot issues. You may be aware of the deferral code that came out a couple of releases ago, and that allows you to post expense and revenue deferrals. And this new feature allows you to use the deferral code in sales and purchase journal lines. So if you're using the sales journal or purchase journal to record documents, you can now record a deferral code, which used to only be available on the general journal. So expanding that deferral code availability. And that takes us to the end of the presentation. I hope that you picked up a few new things that made you excited for what's coming up new, and hopefully make the change less abrasive whenever we get version 24 rolled out. Thank you all for joining, and have a great day.